But the formalities are now over and the serious business can be commenced. So let's check on the teams tonight. There's the Scotland team. You see Jim Layton in goal, replacing Andy Gorham, who injured a finger in training today. So Levine number 4, McCall number 8, and Fleck number 11, the new men playing their first internationals. So the warm-up continues for the Scottish players. And it really is a very special occasion for new players. There's Alan McInally, who's playing tonight for the 5th time for Scotland. There's his transfer fee. And I can confirm there is no number 10 in the Argentinian lineup. Canigia is wearing number 14 with Valdano there wearing 11. Whether that's a mark of respect or whether the manager Carlos Biardo was unhappy with Maradona, I'm not entirely sure. Perhaps Mr. Maradona has taken his number 10 to Tokyo, where he is tonight. So the referee checking with the linesman, making sure the starting time is right. We're about 5 minutes late is Argentina kickoff. So these opening moments will be very important indeed to establish a pattern. There's Richard Gough establishing one for Scotland that we perhaps won't want to see repeated too often. That clumsy challenge, giving the first free kick of the match to Argentina. Urichaga taking control. The Argentinian skipper is their goalkeeper, Neri Pompidou. There's Urichaga. Gough is underneath this. Get it away comfortably. It's turned back by Batista, but it's Paul Mixday. First touch there for Fleck, couldn't find McInally. Argentinians showing their good close control, retaining possession well, played forward by Batista. And space over on the far side for Calderon. And that was struck so firmly that Urichaga couldn't control it. Good one-touch play by the Argentinians coming forward. That tackle came from McLeish. And Argentina have a throw. McLeish, the most capped defender in Scottish international history, with 67 caps tonight. This is Fabry. The sweeper is Bowser back. He's played it forward. Paul Mixday going in very determined fashion to win possession. The break of the ball brings it back to Levine. He'll be happy to have his first touch in the match. There's Jim Bett. On the far side, Martin McLeod. Scotland opening up with Gough appearing to be marking Canigia, playing on the right side of the Scottish defence. Levine at the back. McLeish also marking. There's Levine's pass. Here's McKimmie. McInally couldn't reach that. Here's McKimmie again. Carrying the ball out for an Argentinian throw. So it does indeed appear as though the Scots are playing with 2 central defensive markers and Craig Levine spare, pushing McKimmie and McLeod forward wide on the flats. Good play there by Craig Levine. The police hoisting a long ball forward, looking for the head of Alan McInally. Batista forward. Once again, Urichaga taking control in the middle of the field, linking with Valdano. There's Batista. Canigia has got a cross, followed this time by Levine. The ball falls kindly for the Argentinian, and that late tackle came from Murdo McLeod. So it was worked free here by Canigia, and then McLeod came in late. So free kick for Argentina. This could be dangerous. They've pulled some of the big men up from the back. Bowser, the sweeper, has gone up. That appeared to come off Jim Bett for a corner kick. Jim Bett with an injury doubt. He suffered a dead leg on Saturday against Motherwell at Pittodrie. He shrugged that off. Take his place for Scotland for the 23rd time. Near post corner kick. There's no call. Getting the ball clear. A very hefty tackle there from Stuart McCall, endearing himself to Scottish fans with that show of commitment. But it has cost Scotland a free kick. Leighton coming for that. That's a fine catch. And Jim Leighton exchanging a few words there with Richard Goff. But this, the kind of early save Scotland will be hoping for from Jim Leighton. Totally convincing.
I think we've seen already, Jock, that the way the Argentinians play football is totally different from the way we would normally play ours. And I think it's a great learning process for the Scottish team. They tend to have everyone behind the ball other than one forward, and they play from midfield. They play with short, sharp passing movements, and they all support the ball. They all get around the ball and support it. We've seen that already. Difficult to decipher positions at times, but a difficult team to break down.
Well, Jim Bett's attempt. Floundering there. A challenge by Sergio Batista. Good break that. It was set up initially by Murdo McLeod. Jim Bett showing his confidence, trying to take on Batista. So a free kick it is to Scotland, taken by Bett. And the Argentinians sprinting out just as Bett came to strike the ball, leaving McInally and McLeish well offside. Well, not the kind of tactic to endear the Argentinians to the home support, but nevertheless entirely effective. Nestor Fabri. Play switch to the far side there by Basualdo. There's Calderon trying to hold off Bett. Appeared to be succeeding until he was fouled by Bett. So, lingering look there from Jim Bett to his countryman Kenny Hope, the linesman on the far side. Appeared to indicate to the referee that was an Argentinian free kick. Fleck back to McLeod. It goes to Jim Leighton. Leighton now has the goalkeeping catch record all to himself tonight, overtaking Alan Rough and winning his 54th round. Look at the pace here of Robert Fleck. He was very quick indeed, and certainly surprised the Argentinian defence with that burst. And he has won a free kick. And a great ton of pace there, forcing that challenge from Bauza. No problems here with offside decisions on this set piece. So near the byline, played in by Bett. Put it down by McCall. Goff couldn't collect that inside the box as the Argentinians now in the break, where they can be so menacing. Goff getting a good tackle there on Calderon. And here's McLeod. Playing now in midfield for Borussia Dortmund after a spell at sweeper. A stumble there by Fleck. No complaints there about the Argentinian challenge.
I saw a lot of Argentina in Mexico, Jock, and to be honest with you, they've started with exactly the same type of style they use over there. The difference is they had Maradona breaking from midfield. I don't know if they've got anything like that quality to break from there for them. But Scotland need to be on their guard at the back and not lose any discipline or any shape at the back, because they do break very, very quickly.
Good piece of play there from Craig Naveen, finding McLeod on the left. That was intended for Jim Bett. Bett making runs from a central midfield position to the left flank, trying to link up with Murdo McLeod. The Argentinians come forward again patiently with Batista. Ball back checking in Buruchaga. He leaves that to Sensini. A great pass forward to a full stretch. Is a great chance here for Argentina, and it's blocked there by Leighton. Valdano denied, and it's headed away by McLeod. McLeish now going to complete the clearance, but tense moments there in the Scottish defence. Referee's given a throw to Argentina. There was McLeish just out of range. Great judgment shown by Jorge Valdano. He got away from Goff, and it was a fine save by Leighton. So that's an excellent start to the match by the Manchester United goalkeeper, Jim Leighton.
That's exactly the type of attack we've got to watch, Jock, because they're very good at breaking from midfield. They're very, very patient in their build-up at times, but they're nice and sharp round-about goals. And we saw a good holding tackle from Richard Goff, followed up by a magnificent save from Jim Leighton. That undoubtedly will have helped him.
So a free kick for that challenge by Fabry on McInally. The referee insisting that the free kick is taken from precisely the correct spot, ensuring also the Argentinians retreat to the statutory 10 yards. Big figure of Batista is number 2. With the beard. So Tumbet over the ball. Mother McLeod may fancy his chances from long range. Has already scored once for Scotland against Chile. There's McLeod now with the shot. The wall doing its job. There's no offside. Here's McInally looking up for the cross. Richard Goff's header. A golden opportunity for Scotland, and that's one which Richard Goff will undoubtedly feel he should have scored with. McLeod playing in wide. There was McInally in behind Fabry. He was onside. He looked up, got a good deflection here. Now Goff is on his own for this header, and he mistimed the jump.
Richard Goff will be disappointed there, Jock. With his ability there, I think he would have been counting on that one and perhaps just tried to guide it away from the goalkeeper, but certainly missed a very, very good chance missed.
So a good chance at each end. 10 minutes gone. Shaping up to be probably an entertaining and absorbing match. Leighton very quickly off his line once again. Number 4 putting pressure on is Sensini. There's his football in Italy. Head flick on from Fleck. He did well to win that high ball. Recovery made though by Ruggeri. A bit of roaming being done by Gabriel Calderon, who's come across to the left for the moment for Argentina. Build up though through the right flank with Furuchaga. It's underway by Levine, who has really looked the part in these opening minutes. He's been very composed. He's shown his willingness to take possession and try to play passes from defence. McLeod keeping the pressure on there and earning a throw for Scotland. So interesting formation in midfield from Scotland. They have McLeod on the left, McKimmie on the right. Right in the middle is Paul McStay with McCall to his right and Bett to his left. Headed by Ruggeri. There's McStay trying to find McKimmie. He's very quick to the ball. That releases McInally on the right. McInally is being penalised, I think, for a little bit of holding there on Calderon. Ryan winning striker. Scored once already for Scotland in his short career as an international. The referee being punctilious about the positioning for free kicks. There's the Argentinian bench. A lot of activity there from Carlos Villardo. There's McStay. McLeish caught napping there as Valdano made his interception. Good positioning there by McLeod, dropping deep to take the throw from Leighton. McStay also having to go deep in the middle of the field. The Scots retaining possession. No hurry to get the ball forward, but there's McLeish looking for his Aberdeen teammate Jim Bett, who was being nudged there by Basualdo. So Scotland have a free kick. And Richard Goff's already made his way to the edge of the penalty area. McLeish is also going forward. Bet. Headed away by Ruggeri. Trying a back healer which didn't quite come off, and McStay got across to regain possession for Scotland. Levine finding McInally. Well, that almost released Jim Bet. The interception was by Calderon. On the near side, Sansini to Batista. Good one-touch play here by the Argentinians. As well, though, cut out though by McCall, and this is Bet. McInally's making a run on the right. Going in behind Fabry. The early ball played inside. Batista missed it, and so too did Robert Fleck. Fine play from the Scots. McCall applauding McInally for the run he made here. Playing it in early. Batista swinging the ball and missing. He did enough to put off Robert Fleck.
That's exactly the type of move we need, Joe. We're going to have to drag the two marking centre-backs about and play the ball in behind the wide midfielder full-backs so that we can get Robert Fleck and Alan McInally run into those areas and get the support up to meet the cross that's going to come in.
A little bit of uncertainty there at the back. Bauza, the sweeper, forced to clear out for the throw. Just looking a little bit harassed there, Bauza. 32 years old now. This is football for Veracruz in Mexico. There's Jim Bet. Scottish fans singing in support of what has been a promising opening for Scotland. Timmy couldn't keep the ball in play. Alan McInally clearly disagrees with the Dutch linesman. The throw it is to Argentina. The last visit well remembered to Hamden in 1979 when teenage Maradona made his entrance on the international stage. 3-1 victory that was for Argentina. Here goes Warren McLeod. Well, the first touch just a little bit firm. And Batista forced to send the ball back, but the Scots hustling very well indeed in the middle of the field.
Yes, at the moment they look a little bit uncomfortable with the balls played in wide down the channels, Joe. And I think obviously that it's the type of balls that Alan McInally in particular will enjoy going after. So we've got to try and keep them moving, keep moving their two marking centre-backs about. And we've really got to try and not lose our men in the middle of this park, because that's where they're very, very dangerous.
Batista lofting that forward, and Valdano appeared to make his own decision that he was offside, but the linesman on the far side, Kenny Hope, didn't agree. There was no flag up. Levine with the early ball, trying to release Robert Fleck. Well, Fleck has started international career quietly, but certainly doesn't appear to be in any way overawed. Good interception again by McLeod. Fleck challenged fiercely by Batista. The break of the ball falls for Scotland. It's McLeod. Now Bet. Good running by Bet. McInally waits in the middle. Here's McCall. Snapshot attempted by Bet. Nigia getting there ahead of Levine and Goff. Both of whom went for that ball, but checked out at the last minute. Here's Valdano. Suffered from hepatitis over the last 2 years, so he's been used very sparingly indeed, formerly with Real Madrid. So a goal kick to Scotland. Stuart McCall settling in quietly too to the Scottish midfield.
I think this is a game, Joe. We've got to learn the difference between European football and South American football, particularly Argentinians. They tend to play well behind the ball, leave one player up and quickly get support up to them. And they're prepared to take the ball and they're prepared to pass it about until they see the opening up ahead. We have got to be very, very diligent at the back. We don't leave any gaps.
There's Oscar Ruggeri to take this throw for Argentina. Edgardo Bauza. Well, seeing no one available in midfield, turning it back to Pompidou, and it's a tribute to the Scottish marking in the middle of the field. They couldn't find the player in space. There's Levine's header. Kimi charging forward. Fine tackle. That from Fabry. Showed a good ton of pace. Nestor Fabry. Of the home base Argentinians. Kimi trying to get that return pass from Paul McStay. Stumble there by Goff with the target for that throw. Back with Levine. And Jim Betts showed himself brilliantly there to receive that pass. Couldn't control the ball on the bounce though. Picked up again by McCall. McCall may be in trouble here. Here's Calderon. Canigia has gone forward on the right. Valdano's on the left. And McLeish takes advantage of that misunderstanding. Ruggieri finding Fleck, an awkward customer. Real Madrid centre-back, Oscar Ruggieri. Already has a World Cup winners medal. It's back now with McLeish. This is McStay. And a collision there involving McInally and Bauza. McInally started to run at the edge of the box. He wasn't able to make more than a couple of steps. No infringement spotted though by the referee. That's good play from McStay. McCall. McInally nodding it down for McStay. Bet in space. So too is McKimmie. The ball chipped over the central defence, but the cover was there from Calderon. Here's Murdo McLeod. McStay being closed down very quickly by Sensini. Back from Bet to McLeish. Fabry winning that from McKimmie. Here's Levine. And brought down from the back by Claudio Canigia. But good to see the confidence there shown by Levine. He was prepared to keep the ball and make a run forward. Clearly fouled by Canigia. And Levine in possession once again. Here's Paul McStay. McLeod swinging a long ball in. And once again, there's a little bit of action off the ball in the penalty area. Without education here for Alan McInally. He's being marked closely by Nestor Fabry when the ball's coming in the air. And he's certainly not being allowed any freedom to run. Ruggieri hustled there by Fleck. Always Edgardo Bauza available at the back. Give his ball forward. There's McStay. Now Fleck. McInally on the right. The pass going a yard behind him, taking some of the momentum out of this Scottish move. But here's Fleck once again. Really quick in the turn for a second chance. Good possession play again from Scotland. It's Goff this time, trying to find McInally through the inside right channel.
Both the front players have worked well for us, Jock, and they look lively and they look as though they're capable of upsetting this defence. And it's nice to see them have the appetite to go out there and get involved in it, because it's exactly what we need. Having said that, Craig Levein has settled in nicely. He's first international. He settled down very well, looks comfortable on the ball and looks prepared to come and take it.
An unlucky break there. Sensini playing it wide. Back with Buruchaga. There's Batista. Ruggieri back to Batista. Valdano had gone deep for a moment. Ball challenging fiercely, and the referee allowing that to continue. Normally when feet are raised in front of a European referee, a whistle goes, but there's Sensini. Good running there by Buruchaga. And Canigia is offside. But a little bit alarming the way Buruchaga found space there, so deep inside the Scottish half.
Yeah, immediately in front of the front players, Jock, in front of our defence, they're very, very difficult to pick up. The midfield players are quick, they're confident on the ball, they're prepared to come and take it even though they're marked. And that is where we've got to be very, very observant, very determined they don't get away from us.
McInally doing enough to put off two defenders. Here's McStay. Fleck retaining possession well. He's a very strong player, Robert Fleck, in possession. Now McInally looking to provide a little bit of magic here and hoping for a runner towards that near post area. Well, McInally, a player who certainly is capable of the unexpected. Pompidou with the goal kick. Now 32 years old, resisting a challenge to his position from Luis Islas, who's in the Spanish First Division, while Pompidou's in the Second Division with Real Betis of Seville. But here's Scotland on the move again. It's Bet finding space on the left, looking for McInally. Marking was very tight indeed, but here's McKimmie. Losing Paul McStay. That's a fine pass. Bet again taking up good position on the flank. McInally get a touch to that. It's with Stuart McCall. Fleck getting up well. And McLeod too, trying to get a clean strike of the ball inside the Argentinian box.
Paul McStay settled in very, very well, Jock. He seems to be playing the holding role, allowing Jim Bet to break forward on that left-hand side and allowing McKimmie to come out on the other side and McCall to play that bit forward off him. And I think it's a role that suits Paul, and his passing was seen to best advantage there. Settled in very well, started the game well.
So back it goes to the Argentinian defenders. Edgardo Bauza. So the Scottish marking diligent once again. McCall going in fiercely, but he couldn't win possession cleanly. There's Paul McStay. Well, that piece of close control and confidence thoroughly appreciated by the Scottish fans. This is McLeish. Back with Levine. Well, it's perhaps the first pass from Craig Levine tonight which has gone astray, but it's back with McLeish. It's well held up by McInally. Bet checking inside. McStay available once again in that anchor role in midfield. McKimmie's header. Bit of pushing there. Paul McStay taken out of the play late. And a free kick to Scotland. The Dutch referee quickly to the position where the free kick should be taken from, and Neri Pompidou organises his defence. This should not require a wall. Let's see if the Argentinians break forward using the offside trap this time. Well, they did, but there was no flag up. That was mistimed, and it could be dangerous for Argentina.
It's a frustrating tactic, Jock. The problem is that it catches the opponents off guard, and they tend to anticipate they're coming out, so they don't go in and chase the ball in. Had Alec McLeish gone in there, he wouldn't have been offside.
McCall with an accurate ball forward. Well, more tough treatment there for Alan McInally, but that must be seen as a mark of the respect being shown to the new Scottish striker. He certainly felt the full brunt of one or two hefty tackles, but a very powerful figure, and he'll surely be back for more. Bet again, running off his marker. Couldn't get away on that occasion, and the flag is up on the far side, indicating a throw to Scotland. Richard Gough going forward quietly on the far side of the penalty area. Not involved to take the throw the first time, but McLeish can. Well, that's good play by McStay. Here's Fleck catching Gough off balance. The call forward, there goes Fleck. Well, lots of variety about the Scottish build-up, and that is really very encouraging indeed. Chaga has possession again for Argentina. The Argentinians want to see in possession in the middle of the field. He's performing the Paul McStay role for Argentina. Here's Kanigia. Lost the pace there to get away from Goff. He's still got to take on McKinney. Could be a problem now for the Scots. The ball breaking there off Basualdo. And tidy defending once again.
You know, Jock, it's a surprisingly open game, really. When we've got possession, they tend to drop back and allow us to do something with it. I think we've got to be patient. The long balls from the back are not going to work too often, and we've got to be that bit patient in our build-up. Play through Paul McStay and let him get his passing going. We've got to be careful when they're in possession because they're so confident on the ball. They're so good round about the goal.
This is fine play again from Scotland. Bet to the far side to McLeod. And then the ball being blocked to give Scotland a corner kick. Fabry going across, but that was a great piece of football from the Scottish half. All the midfield players involved. McStay was involved, then McCall and Bet. And some very encouraging play coming from this new Scottish lineup. Bet with a corner kick. Right, coming off his mark, and almost got to that, Batista did. Played it wide there by McInally. Here's Mother McLeod. Taken by Pompidou. The Argentinian defender is on the ground. Half an hour gone, no scoring, but a very interesting and entertaining opening half hour.
I think it's been a bright start, Jock. We've got a new squad, and we see Batista down on the deck there, but I think that was totally accidental. But the cross ball, and I think he actually collided with his own player. But from a Scottish point of view, it's been an interesting start. We've adapted to a different style, a style that's totally foreign to us, and we seem confident enough to come and make passes and keep the ball. And equally, we've got two front players who've showed they're eager to get in behind and shown they're prepared to work for things.
Sergio Batista looks to be in some trouble, and the team doctor, Dr. Madero, is on the field to administer some attention. Interesting that the Argentinians wanted the doctor on immediately. We also have the team physio there. Well, Sergio Batista is a well-travelled international player, and certainly no question of any Scot being involved in anything untoward as Batista took that injury. Still suffering, perhaps winded, and he certainly has no interest in leaving the field. Well, let's see just how that happened. Look for the bearded figure of Batista. There was Fleck going for the ball, and it's a collision there with Ruggeri. No question of a Scot being involved. Cloud sending over the high ball. McInally challenges, so does Fleck. Here the chance for McKimmie. 1-0 to Scotland. Hampden Park erupts. 32 minutes gone, and Stuart McKimmie, in his third cap, gets his first goal for his country. Great play by the strikers. McInally challenging. Then it was Fleck who played wide and just levelled this finish from Stuart McKimmie.
We saw an excellent combination there, Jock. They're worried obviously about Alan McInally's ability in the air. They never quite cleared it. All credit to Robert Fleck, who was sharp into it, laid it in the path of Stuart McKimmie. Oh, and my goodness me, what a finish, what a finish. Marvellous goal.
Well, there's the scoreline. Great deal more, I think, than even the greatest optimists among Scottish fans would have anticipated. And what a great start for Stuart McKimmie. Now that, I can tell you, is his first goal of the season. He hasn't managed one whole season for Aberdeen. And he will wait, I think, a long time before he scores a better one than that.
That's his first goal, Jock. What a way to open. What a lovely, lovely start to an international career in this season. I know he's played before for us, but what a lovely reintroduction to the team. What a strike.
Indeed, if my memory serves me right, he didn't manage a goal last season either for his club, so what a remarkably composed finish it was from McKinnon. Now a throw on the near side to Scotland. That really has brought the crowd to life. There's a buzz around Hampden. Bit of pushing there by Fabry on Fleck. And there is no question, Billy, that Fleck and McInally have caused a lot of problems up front.
Undoubtedly, Joe. The one me a little bit of caution I worry about is Alan McInally's getting involved with those defenders. Now they'll try and niggle him. They'll try and break his concentration. He's got to keep his discipline, keep on upsetting them, and it seems to me that they look a very, very good combination indeed at this stage.
There's a magnificent crossfield pass from Paul McStay to McLeod. A miscue there from Craig Levine. Martin McLeod trying to retrieve the situation for Scotland. So the Argentinians once again forced to go back. Chaga getting some tough treatment there from McStay. Here's Batista, who appears to have recovered fully. And there's a foul by Canigia on Goff off the ball. Well, some very observant refereeing by Frans Huben from the Netherlands. Goff prevented from going to meet that high ball by the attentions of the Atalanta striker. Challenged that time by Bowser and McInally. There's McKimmie. No hope of reaching that. So the throw will be taken by Nestor Fabry. 21 years old, one of the newcomers in the Argentinian lineup. Powerful figure nevertheless. Good left foot. There's McStay. The first touch was excellent. Fleck trying to take on his marker. The linesman flagging here on the near side, I think, for a free kick against Bowser, indicating handball to the referee. Well, just listen to the singing from the Scottish supporters. Pompidou looking a little bit anxious. Come back by McStay to Bet. Good attacking header that by Goff. He was well marked though. Ruggieri, who was with Goff that time. Bet playing it forward. Turned away quickly by Basualdo, away from Paul McStay. Well, perhaps a shade optimistic to think that Scotland could snatch a second before half-time, but their first half performance really has been an eye-opener. Fleck appeared to be caught in two minds there. Levine coming for that, a misunderstanding though with McKimmie. Pass goes astray, perhaps a lack of a call from Levine to McKimmie. So the Scottish defensive pattern is restored as Richard Goff goes back. He's been forward many times in the match so far. So too is Eric McLeish with that pass, looking for McInally. McInally looking for McLeod. Look at the determination there of McLeod and the skill of Paul McStay. Here's McKimmie. McCall is charged forward on the right, taking a defender with him. Down goes Fleck. Taken from the back by Fabry. Well, they're definitely worried about Robert Fleck's pace on the ground. Controlling it, trying to go away from his marker and taking that hump in the back of the legs. So down goes Fleck, and Scotland have a free kick. I wonder if the time spent at Glen Eagles over the last 2 or 3 days has resulted in any special moves from the set piece. Bet looking for McLeish on the far side, and McLeish began his run just a shade early. He's acknowledging that to his Aberdeen teammate. So the goal kick to Argentina. And going by all the activity down below us on the Argentinian bench, they're not at all happy about the way things are going. Levine coming forward. Basualdo. Fabry. Basualdo again. Fabry has found space coming forward. He wasn't picked up in that run. And the dummy from Valdano. Returned by Ruggeri. Up goes Bet, and this is McLeod. A lot of anticipation as Scotland come forward. They've always looked menacing. So now it's the Argentinians' turn to develop a move from the back. With Buruchaga trying to find Calderon. McCall nudging that into space. Space filled by McInally. Looking for help. Finds McStay, but the pass towards McStay asking rather a lot of the Celtic captain, with Basualdo in such close attendance. So Batista over to the far side. Sensini back, and it's Kennegia trying to get away from Levine. The ball was out. So Martin McLeod will take this throw. McLeish offers himself short, but Bet is also there, number 7. Back with McLeish. Looking for McInally. Fabry was the marker. Fabry again doing well on that occasion against McInally, but here's McCall. McKimmie coming forward on the right. Fleck coming wide. Bit of confidence there, but he was being hounded all the way there by Bowser, the sweeper.
Chuck, it's been remarkable. Both Robert Fleck and Al McInally have played well against good quality defending. You know, the Argentinians are good at the back. They mark very, very tightly, but both of these two lads have caused them all sorts of problems. And I think it's a nice indication for Andy that perhaps he was right to use them this game.
So the Argentinians coming forward again. Sensini inside. Ruggeri forced to use Bauza again. There's Batista coming very deep indeed. Waiting Pompidou to find Fabry on the left. He has a very good left foot, the young defender. Buruchaga. Looking for Kennegia's pace on the right, but Mother McLeod drops back from midfield to fill that gap. He's giving it away though. This could be costly for the Scots. So composed in possession. There's Batista. It's played forward by Calderon. There's Goff's header. Scots trying to get the ball back under control, and good play by Stuart McCall. Well, McCall almost didn't qualify for Scotland. He was on the bench on the 21 international for England and Turkey, and by his own way of it managed to avoid going on late in the match as substitute to retain his Scottish qualification. Jim Leighton going down there. It was Valdano, the very experienced Argentinian striker, putting some pressure on the Scottish keeper. Valdano trying to make it difficult for Leighton to use his right foot for a clearance. Perhaps the weakest aspect of Jim Leighton's game throughout his career has been his kicking. The Argentinians have done their own homework, although they certainly have had some surprises, I reckon, from these eager new Scottish internationals, all of whom I think can be very happy with the opening 45 minutes. Levine, McCall and Fleck. So the Scots now clearly anxious to go in at half-time ahead. There's no urgency about their play at the moment. They want to make sure these closing 2 minutes don't produce a goal for the Argentinians. Off set of position after making these 2 challenges. It's cleared by Levine. Fabry wins the high ball. Collected now by Bet. Goff had to come across his man there, and he was fouled by Kennegia. Sharp refereeing by Franz Huben. This is McCall. McKimmie offering himself on the right. McCall uses him as the decoy and goes back inside. This is Bet. Now McLeish. Header down by McInally. It's back from McCall. Good possession play again. Kimmy looking for Murdo McLeod. Just a little bit firm with that wide pass. It's turned away from Sensini by Bet. There'll be a throw to Argentina. But over the piece, Billy, a thoroughly satisfactory Scottish performance.
Undoubtedly, Jock, a very convincing performance in actual fact, because Argentina are here to learn, but they're a good side, the world champions, and I think it's been a very inspiring performance. And Andy will be pleased with the introductory lads that he's brought into the team, because they have played well, they've settled in comfortably, and they've made a big contribution to the game so far.
So the pace of the game has dropped in the last few minutes. Tangling on the far side. And in the middle of the field is Basualdo. Fleck trying to winkle the ball free there, but that cut no eyes of the Argentinians. Here's Burruchaga. Final minute of the first half. This is Calderon. Scottish fans would like to hear the half-time whistle. It's cleared by Levine. Helped on its way by Bet. Batista watching Fleck very carefully. Mirror there by Causa, and there was a push by Batista on Fleck, which should mean that the Scots will finish the first half on the attack. Paul McStay taking charge of this set piece into time added on for stoppages. There has been one, principally that injury sustained by Sergio Batista in the clash with his own player Ruggeri. But here come the Argentinians again. Valdano has gone deep. Takes it back from Basualdo. Burruchaga back to Calderon. This is Valdano looking for an ambitious ball across to the far side. The header won by Jim Bet. Cleared there by Levine. The Scots sprinting out of defence. Fleck with McInally. Good header wide though by Fabry. Basualdo looking for Calderon, but the half-time whistle goes, bringing to an end a thoroughly satisfactory opening 45 minutes. The Scots taking a lead through this man, Stuart McKimmie, who drilled home that sensational opening goal in the 32nd minute. So a great first half from the Scottish point of view. More to come shortly at half-time. The Scottish team is back on the field for the second half. There is one Argentinian on the field, though. He's over on the left of the picture at the moment, and he's clearly going to come on as a substitute in the second half. And it's Abel Balbo, a 23-year-old player, a striker. Plays for Udinese in Italy, and he scored 9 league goals over there this season. Scored from the penalty spot at his club on Saturday against Bari. And playing for a struggling club, but apparently is their outstanding player. So he clearly has the prospect of replacing one of the front men in the Argentinian lineup. Well, they had Canigia and they had Valdano also in the first half. Could it be Valdano, Billy, who's replaced here with him being 34 years old now?
Well, I think so, Jock. It's a surprising one with him. He doesn't play any club football. He's only playing international football at the moment. I would think it's more likely to be Valdano. And they've had problems scoring goals recently, haven't they? And maybe this is him trying something new.
And the Argentinians incurring the wrath of the Scottish fans by their reluctance, apparently, to come back out for the second half. They're keeping the Scottish players waiting. And now coming out in dribs and drabs. Canigia, I can tell you, is back out. I can't yet see Valdano, but only about half the team is there for the moment. So the Scots have to wait. But Jim Leighton will be very happy indeed with his first half performance. A man under some kind of pressure from Andy Gorham, who missed the match tonight through that injury he sustained in training. So Jim Leighton has grabbed the opportunity to reinforce his position as Scotland's number one. So there's Burruchaga talking to Carlos Biardo, the manager. Discussion also with Pompidou. It looks as though there may be some lack of harmony in the Argentinian camp at the moment. And indeed, there's going to be a second change made, I think. Well, a substitute waiting to come on, and that's a new number for us. number 18, certainly not listed before the match. There were 17 men listed, or 17 numbers listed. The one which has no player is number 10, representing Maradona. So a little bit of confusion there. The fourth official there is Douglas Hope from Erskine, the Scottish referee, whose brother's on the line on the far side. Well, the Dutch referee is satisfied, and Scotland get the second half underway. And not surprisingly, there's no alteration to the Scottish lineup. There must be high hopes of a victory here for Scotland, because the Argentinians have indeed had problems. They've had problems for some time scoring goals. Just 2 goals scored in 11 matches. There's Fabry under pressure from Fleck. And the young defender coped very well indeed. Indeed, he has earned a free kick. So Balbo is up front with Canegia. And here's Sergio Batista. Playing a long ball forward. Headed away by McLeish. So an important phase in the match for the Scots, trying very hard indeed to settle back into their pattern of the first half. McLeod tackling from the rear. Balbo looking, I think, with some justification towards the referee for some assistance there. He did appear to be tackled illegally from the back, but referee Franz Huben didn't agree with that. Nathan's kick out, the Argentinians pushed forward in the line. The Scottish attack came back with them. There's Oscar Ruggeri. Certainly will remember Alan McInally and Robert Fleck after tonight's match. There's Fleck screening the ball for Bet. Going away from Sensini. That's good play by Bet. And turned away at the far post by Ruggeri. That was great play by Jim Bet. A fine piece of attacking play on the flank, sending over that far post cross. Pompidou was certainly in trouble. And the Scots have a corner kick. McLeish and Goff in the box. On by Goff. Here's Fleck. And it's simply straight back to Bet. The challenge that by Calderon, a little bit of acrobatics there, trying to deceive the referee, who couldn't have been closer to that incident and was not in any way deceived. And followed by Bet, but the Argentinians coming out of the fence as well. They're showing a little more conviction there than Martin McLeod for the moment. Here's Batista. McLeish's header, designed to retain possession in the Scottish ranks, picking out Richard Goff. Header by McInally. Not much room there to find McKimmie on the flank. And now there will be a change made by Argentina, taking off Burruchaga. And there seemed to be some kind of discussion there before the second half started between Burruchaga and his manager, Carlos Gallardo. So Pedro Troglio goes on to replace Burruchaga. So he will play in midfield. Normally it's a direct replacement, a playmaker for a playmaker. Troglio, a 24-year-old who plays his football for Lazio in Italy. So Canegia earning a throw over at the corner flag. So some work for the Scottish defence. So that change should involve no change in the Argentinian pattern of play, with Burruchaga being replaced by a player of a similar kind. He's a problem for the Scots, and handball there. The progress halted. It appeared to be Fabry who made that run and used the hand as he tried to break through the Scottish defence. supporter still in good voice. Next day helping it on. Done wide by Fleck, but Calderon was in the way for Argentina. Sergio Batista. And just in front of the two centre-backs. Goff's header. Kimi inside. McCall clashing there with Balbo. Here's Kinigia. Basualdo. No one offering himself wide on the right for Basualdo. I think he had a grievance there that he had no supporting player wide.
He seemed to be looking for someone to break in the wide side job, but it's maybe an indication of how we're playing, because we've crowded them, we haven't given them room, we've upset the rhythm, and having said that, we've played it well ourselves. We've kept the ball as much as possible, and we've always looked to have a little bit of poise.
The sweeper is there, Balza for Argentina, but there's McKimmie putting pressure on, linking with McInally, who's clearly being held there by Calderon. Well, fouled at least twice by the Argentinian number 7. And now McInally has the free kick. He was held the first time there, and he went for that pass, and then was held again and brought down by Calderon.
I think it's indication of the trouble that Alan McInally's causing him, Jock. He's resisted the temptation to get involved physically. He's gone with playing his game, and he's creating a situation where they're now having to bring him down.
Scottish free kick. All McStay. Having a discussion there with Stuart McCall. McStay sent it across. He was looking for Goff. Played back in there by McCall, but it was Robert Fleck who was slow coming back out of the penalty area. It's an offside decision. Certainly not from that position. The referee indicating he's prepared to allow the Argentinians to take the free kick from there. Batista to Gabriel. Again, the pressure came from the Scottish midfield. Here's McInally. Bet. Under a lot of pressure there. Freshman Tortleo is on, and Balbo, the two new players for Argentina. This is testing the pace of Levine. Kinigia there trying to take on Levine and win a penalty kick. And the Dutch referee indicating clearly he believes that was a dive. Kinigia certainly appeared to be playing for this, but he showed tremendous pace there. Well, now I wonder if other referees might have given that.
I think there'll be a holiday in tune for that fella, Jock, to be honest with you, but it's not a serious international, so maybe he said let's all be pals tonight, but had it been my player that was brought down, then I think he might have been in trouble with the referee.
Yes, that looked to be a let-off for Scotland. Craig Levine certainly learned a lesson about international football, because with regularity at club level, Levine has all the pace in the world to cope with most opposing strikers, but Kinigia there broke off him for a devastating burst of about 15 yards. Basualdo pushed from the back by Murdo McLeod.
More importantly, Jock, that's the kind of ball we've always got to watch out for, because this little lad Caniglia looked to have that ball played in behind the defenders. He's obviously got abundant pace, and it's the type of situation that we're going to meet in the World Cup. So hopefully Craig Levine will have learned that you've got to drop off just a little bit when you're playing against that quality striker.
Well, there goes McLeod. The challenge came from Kinigia, who still appears to be aggrieved about not getting a penalty kick. There's McLeod, who certainly has shown a lot of confidence in possession. There was a trip by Kinigia. Free kick taken short. McLeish. Good running there by Fleck. Coming off his marker again. And getting the full brunt of that challenge from Bauza. The corner kick it is. The timing of that move from Fleck really made all the difference. He broke off his marker. Jim Betts now with this corner kick to the near post. There's no one on the near post. McLeish had come a little bit short for that. There's Kinigia. Well, I reckon Murdo McLeod made up his mind that Kinigia was not going to get into full stride.
No, he goes down easily, certainly, Jock, but to be fair, I think he's still thinking about maybe he should have had a penalty a minute or two ago. And he'll throw himself about to put pressure on the referee to do something about it.
And that free kick will require to be taken further back. Now the referee is satisfied. Bowser is across. Here's Harvey. Back with Batista. Roglio well tackled by Bet. McInally. Now that tackle was beautifully timed by Bowser. Excellent judgment coming across. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Scotland still leading by 1-0 with scorer Stuart McKinney. And after 32 minutes, Harvey wins that from Fleck. Sensini. And McLeish standing his ground against Balbo. He wouldn't be turned by the little striker. Oscar Ruggeri will take this free kick for Argentina. Osvaldo organising his teammates. He's stretching in. Fleck going for that with Ruggeri right behind him. McLeod to Bet. That's a good pass. Bet was looking to open that up and find McKinney in the far side. The pass a shade too ambitious. Calderon made the interception. That's Batista's pass. Ruggeri. Carnegie, an elusive customer up front, seeing more of the ball now. Nudged away there by Bet. Stay takes the return. Here's Brother McLeod. Well, Fleck, the victim of two very heavy tackles indeed. And Oscar Ruggeri, the player penalised, and the Argentinians clearly think that Fleck was guilty of infringement himself. Looking towards Brother McLeod too. Was he involved? That's the question. There's the first challenge which Fleck evaded. Then in came Ruggeri, made no contact at all with the ball. Now watch Brother McLeod here arriving on the scene, and it's that incident there which had upset the Argentinians. Brother McLeod appeared to win the end, put his studs into the leg of Ruggeri. Well, he certainly had cause to be aggrieved about the treatment here for Robert Fleck, although there can be no question of condoning any retaliatory tackle of this kind. There was McLeod now, and he went in there to win the ball, not quite so clear from that angle.
It's a little bit naughty, Jock. It's just to be hoped that the Argentinians don't resort to dirty stuff, because when it comes to that, they're the experts, and it's been a good game for us so far. We don't want to spoil it now. Well, the Argentinian bench below is on their feet in unison there, and that incident took place. Scots again trying to build. Here's Brother McLeod. Maybe a target for some retaliation. Now Fleck. Cover provided by Bowser. Roglio. There's Kinigia. Kinigia showing his pace again. Levine trying to match him all the way. That's superb defending by Craig Levine. Into the advertising hoardings, but that was top-class work by a young international defender. I think Craig Levine's done himself an awful lot of good, Jock. He was a bit fortunate not giving away the penalty in the first instance, but here he stood up to the man. He's not allowed them to commit him. He said, go on and play the ball in there. I'm going to look for it in there, and I'm just going to keep you running until you open the door and send you out the pitch.
Yes, no question of any rash diving tackle by Levine, showing great maturity. Argentinians continue with 10 men. Oscar Ruggeri is still off the field. Looks as though there may be a substitution shortly. A tackle there made by Paul McStay, and the referee has penalised that. And Paul McStay looks to the heavens. He certainly appeared to win that cleanly enough. And now there will be a substitution. Pedro Monzon is coming on to replace Oscar Ruggeri. So there's an enforced change again by the Argentinians. Oscar Ruggeri of Real Madrid limps off. Monzon, defender. Direct replacement. 27-year-old plays for Independiente in Argentina. And there's Batista. Northward one for Leighton. And the offside flag was up on the near side. There'll be free kick to Scotland, and Jim Leighton is complaining that he was fouled as well, but it was the linesman's flag here which I think was reacted to by the referee. Very awkward ball into the crossbar, a lot of pressure on Jim Leighton. 2 Argentinians on him.
I think at this stage in the game, Jock, it's important that we don't lose our composure. We don't want the game to end up in a rough house, because it's been a good quality game, and it's been a good performance by a good Scottish team against a very, very good opposition. We want to keep it that way. We want to learn something from the game. Hopefully it's not that they can dish out the rough stuff.
And this time the free kick is given against Alan McInally for a little bit of wrestling there with Nestor Fabry as they both went for that ball. Here's Calderon. 1 hour of the match gone. Scotland leading by 1-0. McKimmie the scorer. So 3 substitutes used by the Argentinians. What prospect of changes for Scotland?
Well, I think we're starting to show just a little bit of tiredness, Jock, and in saying that I'm paying respect to the fitness of the Argentinians. As I say, I watched them in Mexico and I was impressed by their fitness. Again tonight they're very, very sharp and fit. They've used some substitutes. It may well be important that we've got to do the same to protect some of our players.
Pedro Monzon making an impression instantly on Alan McInally with that free kick. There's McCall. Just too far ahead of McInally, taken comfortably by Pompidou. There's Monzon. So they're no stranger to international action, a very experienced player. And the home basemen and the Argentinian ranks, not too many of these. Playing in France, in Italy, and in Mexico. And in West Germany, here's Batista. Calderon forwards. McLeish will have to be quick. Got the head of Abel Balbo. Well, Alec McLeish certainly enhancing his reputation once again tonight in his 67th international. Headed by Sensini. Here's Mother McLeod. McInally accepts the throw from Sensini's challenge. Now Fleck coming short. Trying one of those electric turns. He was denied by Monzon. A good piece of defending by Monzon. Settling in quickly at the back for Argentina. Well-timed leap by Richard Gough, winning the ball from Balbo. So still no sign at the moment of the Argentinians picking up the pace of the match, despite having some very elusive strikers on the field right now. Caniggia and Balbo rather, who's shown his pace already. Bet taken out of the play late by Calderon. So free kick to Scotland, and no rush about this. Mother McLeod leaving it to his skipper, Alec McLeish. Still no sign of activity on the Scottish bench as McLeish lines up the free kick. Gough with the target. Here's Paul McStay. Now McInally couldn't find a way through there. 2 defenders blocking his path. And Stuart McCall going in with a little bit too much zeal over the far side. The Everton midfield player very anxious to stake his claim for a regular place in the Scottish team.
He certainly made a very favourable impression, Jockey. He's been anxious to get involved in the game. He's been supportive of the other midfield players, and he's been prepared to work very, very hard, both in breaking forward and getting back to help his defence. I think he's made a very impressive debut.
So neat interpassing in the Argentinian defence. Paul McStay working very hard to break things up in the middle of the field for Scotland. Having a fine match as the anchor man in midfield. Here's Batista. Caniggia's layoff. Calderon. Leighton's committed for this. Coming the punch clear. That was good decisive goalkeeping. A foul against Jim Bett, but inattentions on Basualdo, but there will be a hold up, I think. That's challenge made by Jim Leighton, so decisive that one of the Argentinians requires some treatment. Well, Jim Leighton made up his mind early to come for this. I just look at the way he goes out. No thoughts about taking this except with his fist. And the Argentinian striker took the full brunt of that. He's called it on, flighting it in. And the Argentinians bundling in there on that ball at the far post. Richard Gough going bravely to win it for Scotland. And the referee instantly inviting treatment. Just look at the way Gough goes in among these Argentinians to try to win this. He got his head to the ball, then took full brunt of two opposing players. Good work there by Gough. Hopefully he's no more than winded. He's on the ground now, getting treatment from Hugh Allen and from Eric Ferguson, Scottish physios.
Chuck, I think Richard Gough's well used to that kind of challenge because, as everyone knows, centre-halves go in and they tend to get their faces knocked about a bit. I don't think that'll worry Richard Gough too much.
Certainly kept his eye on the ball throughout to get the important touch before he was met in midair. He has recovered. McInally beat to that by Batista. Looked as though an arm was raised there by Batista as he challenged for that, using his elbow, but it's Fabry who comes forward, and he certainly has done his cause no harm for a regular place in the Argentinian lineup. The young defender, just 21 years old, Nestor Fabry. Here's Alec McLeish. No one making it on into that area. McLeod goes forward to force Bauza to hurry. Basualdo. Not accurate enough for Fabry, forcing him to use extra energy to keep the ball in play. It's well judged by McLeod, winning it from Calderon. Well, the control had him down there. He was at full tilt to win possession in the first place. Perhaps the first sign of weariness creeping in.
I think looking at our bench players, Jock, I might be tempted to change the front two. I think they've come in. Andy's had a look at them as a partnership against very, very good defenders. I think he must be pleased with what he's seen. It may well be time now that he gives them off, because the both of them are looking just a little bit tired now. And it may well that a couple of pairs of fresh legs won't do us any harm up front.
So Craig Levein being tested to the full now in the second half by Claudio Caniggia, winning that joust in the air, getting the ball back safely to Leighton. Touched on by McStay. Batista. And it back the way he was facing safely to Bauza, the libero, the sweeper. There's Sensini. Fabry. Monzon. Batista intercepts. I don't think he was the target for the pass, but it's been effective for Argentina. Here's Sensini. Caniggia sets off again. Closely policed by Levein. Albo, the substitute, goes Bett. Well, showing his studs there going in. That'll be a free kick all right to Argentina. Surprising that the Bodo McLeod made that error, playing his football in West Germany for Borussia Dortmund. Leighton organises a four-man wall. Every Scottish player back to face the ball. Calderon playing it in. It was won by Levein. And McLeish has decided no one can reach that. He allows it to go for the Argentinian throw. Roberto Sensini with the throw. Gave off the head of Stuart McKimmie, and that's a corner kick to Argentina. Chance for the big central defenders to come forward, particularly Bauza. Number 3, marked by McLeish. Leighton again is committed. Not quite so convincing that time. Got a palm to that. Back goes Basualdo. This is Batista. Good challenge made there by Bet. Well, it was good work by Troglio also. Kept in play by Calderon. And it had to be turned away there by McLeod at the expense of a corner kick.
We're being examined quite thoroughly as a defensive unit at the moment, Jock, which is not a bad thing either, but I think just a little bit of tiredness has crept into our play, and they have the ascendancy at the minute. But it's good experience for our back players, and at the moment they've shown themselves to be up to the challenge.
Well, a further test for them from this corner kick, an awkward one from McCall. Richard Goff commanding in the air once again. Basualdo, Troglio. Well won by Mother McLeod, and a snatched effort there from Sensini. Not far away, that ball seemed to be swerving and dipping. Good work in the air defensively though by Scotland. Mother McLeod that time, and there was a shot which certainly was dipping. Good instant control by Sensini, taking the ball in the drop, carefully watched by Leighton. And the activity coming from the Scottish bench involves Brian McClare, who's now warming up on the track. He certainly would welcome an opportunity to show what he can do. There he is, the Manchester United player. He has been withdrawn from the direct striking role at Old Trafford in recent weeks, and that has helped him recapture his form. Here's Sensini. Ball going in, and that almost ran favourably for Stuart McCall. That takes us back to have an all-action redhead in the middle of the field for Scotland. There's Batista. And the offside flag is up against Kinnigia. The Scots pushing forward very quickly indeed. Richard Goff and Alec McLeish inviting Craig Levine to come forward very snappily. I believe Kinnigia. So Alec McLeish will take this free kick. Goff couldn't get to that, very carefully marked. There's McKimmie. Good confident play by McKimmie. Bet at the far post. And Bet has been penalised. Well, he looked disbelievingly there, but it was a fine bit of play. Sensini was the marker. Here was McKimmie showing an unorthodox but very effective bit of work with his right foot. And Bet was penalised for that. Which is perhaps a little bit surprising. Jim Bet is going off. He is the player being withdrawn by the Scots. No, there's a change being made. The number 7 was held up, and Craig Brown on the Scottish bench appeared to correct Douglas Hopp, the 4th official. And it is Alan McInally who's coming off. Well, he certainly deserves the applause he's receiving. He did a fine job up front and certainly staked a powerful claim for a place in the World Cup squad. Brian McClare joins Robert Fleck up front. There's McLeish. Stumble there by McClare. Then back by Basualdo to Bauza. So Brian McClare comes on to win his 14th cap. Still to open the scoring duck for Scotland. Although in fairness he hasn't had many 90-minute matches within these international appearances. Starting matches and being replaced or coming on as substitute. Not perhaps the best way to use the Brian McClare kind of ability.
Well, I think anywhere up front Brian will always be a handful for people. I think he's always capable of scoring. Coming on in a game like this, Jock, is difficult for anyone up front. I might have been more inclined to bring on a fresh pair and bring on Maurice Johnson and Alan McCoy, because both of them play well together. And I think at this stage, both Alan McNally and Robert Fleck were feeling the pace of the amount they put into the game. And I think it was on the cards for them to come off. I'm surprised that Andy's only taken one of them off, because they have It may well be the fact that Robert Fleck is playing his first international and wants to give him 90 minutes, but they have performed well and they've given us indication that they can play in this team at any time.
So further options being provided by these performances. Up front from McInally and Fleck, at the back certainly from Craig Levein, and in the middle of the field Stuart McCall has certainly done his chances no harm at all. And as for Stuart McKimmie, his third international, that opening goal which has given Scotland the lead will have done him the world of good in every possible respect. There's Jim Bett. Good running that by McClare. He knew the tackle was coming. An experienced player, McClare. He realised that Edgardo Bauza was coming straight in behind him. He steeled himself for the challenge. He's come to no harm and he has won the free kick. Fabry coming in there on Fleck, and it'll be a free kick to Argentina for Fleck doing a little bit of illegal pushing. Here's Batista. Monzon touching it on to Basualdo. Caldon playing it on rather hopefully. Tidied up at the back by Goff and Levein. Well, over the piece it really has been a very useful workout for Scotland, with the strikers showing, the midfield showing, and the defence being tested for a 15-20 minute spell there by the Argentinians.
Yes, Chuck, I think it's been an impressive display. I know Maradona's not here, but let's not undermine the fact that Argentina have some very, very good quality players. Several of them have been in a World Cup winning team. Lots of international caps amongst them. And we have performed very, very well. We've lost a little bit of the game in the second half, which is understandable. They've come out, they don't want to get messed about. They are world champions, they're proud of it. And they've come out the second half to give a little bit of a show. And they've worked very, very hard. But from our point of view, I think it's been an impressive display.
Paul McStay being crowded out there as he tried to go forward. It's back with Jim Leighton. So we're just 13 minutes from the end of the match. Scotland still leading by 1-0. And a memorable performance this would undoubtedly be if the scoreline stays the same. But the Argentinians have their pride and they will be very anxious indeed to avoid defeat at least. And we heard a prediction before the match from Jose Ardiles, who thought that the Argentinians would win 1-0. Scoreline reversed at the moment, and Roberto Sensini will take this free kick for Argentina. Levein getting up very well indeed to win that high ball. Here's McClare. Levein caught off balance, and it's McClare again who has to go back and help in defence. Canigia making sure the ball doesn't go out of play. Well, he is something of a hero in his home club, Atalanta. The new star, hailed at one time as a potential successor to Diego Maradona, but getting no change there from Alec McLeish. Up goes Batista. Canigia. Firm tackle made by McLeish. Basualdo with the throw. You can see the Argentinians pushing players forward whenever they have possession. They are indeed anxious not to sustain a defeat here tonight. Stay chesting that down. There's McLeod towards Fleck. Well, that certainly was a hefty tackle on the back. Pedro Monzon has shown the yellow card, the first player in the match to receive that treatment, and he has no complaint at all. Well, that tackle from the back by Pedro Monzon, cautioned by the referee, and indeed a new rule for the World Cup introduced by FIFA, that any tackle from the back should be treated in that fashion. And being corrected, there has been an earlier booking in the match, which Certainly reflects well all over the piece, though, with just two in a match of this kind, when it certainly has been played as a real cup tie. There's been no question of players backing off challenges on either side. Fabri to Sensini. McLeod comes across to close him down, using Calderon early. Low ball played in, and appeared to strike a hand. And Goff to play again. Richard Goff was right in the middle of all that. Stuart McCall claiming an Argentinian handled the ball. Let's check that as the ball was played in low. McCall challenged first, then Goff did just enough to make sure the ball came to no harm as it reached Jim Leighton. Calderon stepping away from McCall. Fleck getting back to help. Very tough challenge there, McLaren. I think of it. Here goes Fleck, trying to take on the Argentinian defence single-handed. He certainly is very direct when he's facing the opposing goal. McLeod nodding it down. McLeish listening to Jim Leighton behind him. McLeish now looking for Fleck, trying to control that under pressure from Sensini. Pompidou trying to play beyond the midfield. Caniggia brought down by McLeod. An apology offered instantly by the Borussia Dortmund player. Sergio Batista will take this free kick. And then it's gone strangely quiet for the moment. Scottish fans now going into the nervous late stages of the match. There's Murdo McLeod lofting it over. Well, that could so easily have been an own goal. He's congratulated by Leighton. The free kick caused all the problems here. The Scottish defence not doing well as that ball was headed across by Bauza, and McLeod managed to ease that over the bar. Corner kick to Argentina. Stuart McCall near post, heading it out. Fleck's header gives the ball straight back to Basualdo. There's McCall, this time McClare has space. A lot of wrestling going on off the ball, Monzon and Fleck. McClare trying to play the ball to the near side, but things not going well for Brian McClare since he came on. Not getting a run of the ball at all. There's Batista. Now Scotland opening this match with only 3 survivors from the World Cup qualifying lineup against Norway in November. They were like McLeish, Jim Bett and Paul McStay. Virtually a new team. And McLeod denied the chance there of getting the ball forward by Fabri, who's been pushed forward to a more attacking role in the middle of the field by Argentina. Doglio, the interception by McStay. Fabri wins it back. This is Batista. Making his header, looking for McClare. Was wrong-footed by that pass. Levine held off by Caniggia. Well, Levine very disappointed indeed about that decision. He's going well against Caniggia, was trying to back into him. And when the striker went down, the referee went, and you can't fault the Dutch referee. He's been very close indeed to the play at all times. Calderon playing it in. Snap chance there. Well, that was Bauza. Perhaps forced it for Scotland that it was a defender in that shooting position. And again, these cross balls are causing problems. Bauza himself getting up there and then snatching at the shot. Not certainly as effective as Stuart McKimmie was for Scotland in the first half. Jim Leighton there with that kick out, the 4th survivor in fact from the original lineup. Coming in tonight to replace Andy Gorham, the original choice, who, remember, if you've just tuned in, injured his hand in training today and had to be withdrawn. An offside decision given by the Dutch linesman on the near side. Free kick to Scotland. So Richard Gough will take this free kick. Headed away by Bonzon. Turned again by Gough into the Argentinian half. Well, we're at a stage in the match, Billy, I think, where the Scots will be very happy to hang on to this scoreline.
Well, at the moment, Jock, we're having to hang on because we've lost that little bit of ascendancy we had in midfield for a long time, and they've started to dominate that part of the ground. Where we have been fortunate is that we have defended well. We've been a bit scrappy at times, but we have defended well, and we haven't really offered them an awful lot of opportunity in front of goal.
Well, the referee appears to be insisting that Bauza accept treatment from the Argentinian bench. Neither Bauza nor the Argentinian bench want to know about this, but it's because there's blood in the face. Now that is a clear instruction from FIFA that whenever any player has blood on his face or on his legs, treatment must be administered and the blood must be removed. Now, there is no question of Bauza being able to continue without that being sorted out. Well, the referee has been persuaded. Well, in the World Cup finals, he will not be allowed to do that. Kick played in and comes straight off the head of Murdo McLeod. Clearance by McKimmie, but Scotland certainly now just at the stage of hanging on. The effort and energy expended early in the match has taken its toll. The zip has gone out of the legs, particularly in the vital midfield area. Leash has now been penalised. Troglio with the free kick. Good work again in the air by McLeod. Troglio returns it. Leash's header, it's helped on there to Brian McClair. That's for Fleck. He needs support. Here's Paul McStay providing it. McClair has bed on the left. There's a fine attack from Scotland on the break. The other ball played in and a fine clearance. And a cross again by Bett, but that was a tired looking attempt at a cross by Jim Bett. He recovered from injury to play in this match. He's put a great deal into it with lots of running, and now looks as though he's struggling just a little as the Argentinians come back with Caniggia. That was much too firm a pass for Balbo. And the pressure goes off the Scottish defence, and there's going to be a second substitution made by Scotland. This will result in a record being kept intact. Roy Aitken is about to come on. Now he's been in every Scottish squad selected by Andy Roxburgh. He's played in every match so far under the Scottish national coach. And coming on for the last few minutes will keep that record intact. Jim Bett going off again. Warm applause for Bett, who contributed so much to Scottish effort, particularly in the first hour. So Roy Aitken just had a couple of minutes to keep the Scottish effort together if a very impressive victory is to be achieved. Headed forward by Fabry. There's Levine. Jimmy trying to keep his feet down, not showing any studs there, so he didn't get to the ball. Here's Caniggia. Fine tackle it was by Levine, just at the opportune moment. Levine again. Playing with total conviction in the heart of that Scottish defence. The young Hearts defender, there goes Fleck. A very heavy exchange there, which the referee saw nothing wrong with. It's the other end, Jim Leighton, who collects. The pace of the match picking up now towards the end.
Craig Levein has performed superbly well. You know, he's a debutant, but he has stood his ground, Jock. He's made good clearances at important stages in the game, and even now when we're tired, it's Craig Levein who's coming out and playing the ball for us. I think he's made a very, very significant contribution to this game, and perhaps a big contribution to future Scottish teams as well.
Yes, great encouragement from Craig Levein, who is entitled to be delighted with his first international performance. And certainly encouragement for any players to sustaining serious injury. Craig Levine's career threatened just a couple of years ago. A bad knee injury, but here's Scotland building up to a big finish. McLeod back to Paul McStay. Great effort by McStay. Well, that would have put the seal on an outstanding Scottish performance. The short free kick worked between McStay and McLeod. That's shaving the crossbar.
It's a tremendous effort because it was a quick little free kick, a nice little interchange between the two players, and what a tremendous strike. It would be lovely to see that finish up in the net.
Well, last time I can recall Scotland beating reigning world champions was back in 1967 at Wembley. Famous 3-2 victory over England, and it looks as though the Scots may have achieved that again. It would be their first victory over Argentina in their third international. Headed away by Levine. Scots staying diligent here in defence. As well, they're playing a fault, an offside decision against Caniggia. He's been caught several times up front. The Argentina striker. So it's a free kick to Scotland. Alec McLeish taking all the time in the world. The referee appearing not to be in any hurry to bring proceedings to an end. There's been a little bit of stoppage time in the second half. And great concern will be felt by the Argentinians if they go to this match with a blank score sheet again. Aiken hustling across, denying any space at all to Troglio. Getting a cheer all to himself from the Scottish fans. First international since signing for Newcastle United, and there goes the final whistle. It's a famous victory for Scotland. They've won by Stuart McGimmy's first goal.